Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, also known as Cross Stitch Bunny here on YouTube and over on Instagram. I have quite a lot to show you today. It has been a little while longer than usual since I last filmed a proper Flosstube episode. I last filmed on about the 15th of Feb. I think it was very middle of the month, and I usually film, as you know, my end of month update on the very last day of the month or the very first day of the following month. That has just not happened today. So we are now on the 6th of March and this is my February update. So I will not be showing you any of March's stitching. If you are on my Instagram, you may have seen me post a few pictures of a couple of cheeky new starts I have had for March, but you will not be seeing those in this episode because this is purely a February update. It's worked out quite nicely for me in the sense that so far in March, I have not picked up any projects that I worked on in the last couple of weeks of February. So I can keep my February stitching separate, show you my February summary for the month, and my next episode, my mid-month one, will be back on track for showing you my March stitching. So quite a few things to show you today in total. I've got 4 finishes, as the title of the video would suggest, so that is super exciting and has really helped me bring that whip number down a little bit, which is what I was aiming for. I have a couple of other whips I've worked on that I'll be sharing with you, and I have some interesting accessories for my Lowery stand that have been handmade for me by Adam. So yes, they are going to make an appearance today as well. I can't wait to show you those, although we may have to move the camera for me to show you those. I'm not sure how I'm going to film that yet, but we will see. So let's make a start, and we will start with the finishers. So my first finish to show you is my lovely soda stitch, and it is my very first ever soda stitch design, completely enabled by the lovely Amber at Rogue Mama Stitcher and her massive love for soda. We actually decided to start this one together, although I have finished it and I think she's still very much near the beginning of hers because she's picked up a bunch of other projects at the same time. She's had quite a flurry of new starts from what I can see from her Flosstube and Instagram, but this is my very first soda stitch. And this is called Kitty in the Kidney Bean, although myself and Amber both are convinced that it is a pea pod. So to me, this is my Kitty in the pea pod. Let's give you a close-up. I just love the back stitch on this. I think it's so lovely. Really, really makes it look beautiful. The last time you saw this, I had finished all of the cross stitch, but I had not done any of the back stitch. And what a difference. It really does make a huge difference to how it looks. So yeah, my very first soda stitch. I am so pleased with that, and this has been stitched on a hand-dyed piece of fabric from my own Stitch Bunny shop. It is even weave. I think it's a 32 count, but I will just check that because I have forgotten, and I do have my notes here. Yeah, it is. So it's 32 count. 32 count even weave, and isn't she cute? So that is finish number 1. Finish number 2 is completely out of season, but never mind. So this is my Jingle Bell Sleigh Ride Company whip that is now finished. I did start this in December of last year, but I had done a number of Christmassy projects, and then we were kind of getting so close to the end of December, there wasn't much chance of me finishing this within the month, but I decided to start it anyway. It was a lot bigger than I thought in terms of the stitch count. Like I think that a lot of the Cherry Hill Stitchery patterns seem that way. Like you look at them and think, oh, there's not much stitching there, and then they take much longer than expected. Like this sleigh and the horse took me a really long time to finish. But yes, this is my finished piece. I did not leave myself much margin on this at all. Look at that. Did not leave myself any margin at all. This was just done on like a scrap piece of fabric, and obviously it is big enough, but I'm going to be kind of restricted to how I can finish this. I'm thinking of maybe finishing it at some point as like a little Christmas pillow, or I suppose with a margin this small I could just pin it onto like foam core board like this, and do some sort of finish that way. But I just love this. I love all the details in it, and yet the fact that it is so simple in its design. And I stitched this with all the called for colours, I believe, other than making a mistake when I pulled this red. I'm just trying to check my notes. Yeah, so this is all stitched in the called for DMC colours, but I pulled out the wrong red, which I have mentioned before. That was a mistake, but it was a mistake that I didn't realise until I stitched like all of the red up the top here. And then I thought to myself, oh, that looks a bit brighter than the model stitch. So I double checked, realised I'd pulled the wrong red, and decided that I wasn't going to change it. So it is a bit brighter than it should have been, but I don't think it looks bad, and you wouldn't know unless I told you. Like, I'm sure nobody would know that I've not used the right red. So this is stitched on 28 count, just a scrap beige piece of even weave. It is even weave, not linen. I think previously in one of my other videos I may have said this was linen, but it isn't. It is a scrap piece of even weave, and I'm very pleased with this finish. I should have mentioned with my soda stitch, which I didn't, that was also stitched with a DMC, or the called for DMC. Because obviously I switch between different thread brands, so I do like to let you know what I've used. So yes, both these finishes I've just shown you are with all the called for DMC, with the exception of a mistake on this one with the red. And actually on the Soda Kitty, I did replace one of the pinks because I didn't have it. I think I have mentioned that previously as well. So finish number 3 is my Karen Carter Sealed with a Kiss. So this is a Karen Carter like mini full coverage kit by Heritage Crafts. It came with 14 count Ada, and obviously all the threads were supplied, so I've stitched this with all the supplied materials. I'll just give you a closer look at all that lovely back stitch, because last time you saw this, as with my Soda Kitty, I had finished the entire thing in terms of cross stitch, but I had not yet back stitched it. So that is what you are seeing today in terms of progress, is all of the back stitch is now finished. And I do have the other 2 kind of matching patterns that go with this. One of them is called Chilling, and one of them is called the Lookout, I think. I showed those recently in my my birthday haul video. If you've not seen it, had a haul section, and then it also had like my top 30 kits that I've pulled together to start fairly soon. And the other 2 patterns that match this one as a set are in that little kit showcase that I put together. So that is 3 finishes, and my last finish I'm very excited for. This is my Pancake Dragon, and she is beautiful. Here she is. So this is a Nadezhda Kazarina pattern. She has a lot of dragon patterns, and I stitched this as part of the Kazarina Dragon sale that myself and Rogue Mama Stitcher decided to host. I know that a few other people are currently still stitching their dragons. Cross Stitch Mad Sarah did a dragon for this sale. She has finished. I may well continue on with this sale because there were no set rules or set dates to do it. It was just a case of pick a dragon by this particular designer and stitch on it. And I have at least half a dozen, if not more, other dragon patterns from Nadezhda Kazarina. So I will definitely at some point stitch another. In fact, the little dragon with the pearl that's Cross Stitch Mad Sarah finished, I have that pattern and I have it all kitted up other than fabric. So when I say it's kitted, I've got all the threads ready. That may well be the next one that I start, the one that you will have already seen her do if you follow her on Instagram. But I'm very pleased with my Pancake Dragon. I actually almost finished this for Pancake Day, but just not quite. I missed it like only just, but I did end up finishing this on my birthday. So that was lovely to get a birthday finish because I did not have a birthday new start. This is stitched on a hand-dyed even weave 32 count from my own Stitch Bunny shop. And I think I've done this in CXC, but I will just give that a quick check if I can find it in my book. The problem with my book of notes at the moment is I've had so many starts. There's so many starts listed in this book with my notes. It's hard to find the one I'm looking for. Here she is. Royal Broidery I have stitched her in. So my Pancake Dragon is stitched in the Royal Broidery DMC equivalent. So they are 100% cotton, unlike the CXC, which are obviously a poly cotton blend, like the Royal Broidery threads. I've only started to experiment with using recently, but I'm very pleased with them. And price-wise, they are kind of halfway house between CXC, which are very cheap, and DMC, which obviously are what they are. They're proper DMC. These are about, when I buy them, 30 or 40 pence each, depending on how many I'm buying at the same time. And I think they are great to work with. They're lovely. There is one change that I have made to this pattern, which is that the little strawberry that she's curled around and the other strawberries down here, I have not done any French knots on. And that is because there are black French knots that are charted on all these strawberries, but I did actually start to stitch them on here and I didn't like them. So I pulled them out and then I decided to try them in a different color, because I thought maybe it was the black that I didn't like. So I was looking at photos of actual strawberries at various stages of ripeness, and I thought, well, if they were kind of a more browny golden color little seeds on there, maybe they would look better. So I stitched all of the French knots onto this one in a golden brown color, and again I decided that I didn't like them, so I pulled them all out and decided that I'm not having any French knots. I did consider putting some tiny seed beads on, but I'm just not sure that it needs it. Let me know what you think. Do you think my strawberries look good as they are? Do you think they look incomplete? I'm definitely not doing French knots, but do you think I should consider some beading, or do you think just leave them as they are? Leaving them as they are is what I'm leaning towards, but I would love to know what you think. But there she is. Absolutely love her. Very proud to have finished that dragon, and I must say the back stitch on the wings here really did challenge me, and I'm not one for shying away from backstitch heavy designs, but this was heavy going. Sarah, when she was doing her dragon, had messaged me quite a few times being like, no, when will the backstitch ever end? And I was laughing at her a little bit, good-naturedly, but laughing at her until until I started my own backstitch on this one, and then I realised that she was not joking. I found it a little bit heavy going as well, but I'm really glad that it's now finished. So that is all of my 4 finishes for February. And then I have just 3 other whips to share with you. One is my most unloved of all whips. It is my oldest whip. So this is a Gale Busty design from a magazine, and it is just like a love themed sort of modernish sampler design that is called Follow Your Heart, or Follow Your Heart Always. Please don't ask me what magazine this is from, because I just have my photocopy that I took of it, and it was so long ago. I'm honestly not sure. If you go back far enough in my videos, you may find me referring to the issue, but I've not got it written down here. This is being done on 14 count Aida, and I am actually stitching this in CXC threads. And like I said, this is my oldest whip. I started stitching this on the 16th of April 21. So it is coming up to being 2 years old very soon. And I have absolutely not got anywhere close to finishing it. I'm not going to pop a picture in of my previous progress because I basically took this to soft play when my kids were at soft play a couple of weeks ago, and all I managed to do while I was there was finish outlining the ladybirds. That was it. So yes, just imagine that there is a progress photo there, but it's hardly worth the effort to put one in because all I have done is outline these with some backstitch. So yeah, this is really slow going. I refuse to give up on it, and I'm not going to UFO it, but it really isn't a priority, and it just gets a tiny bit of attention here and there. I may well still have this on the go another 2 years from now, but we will see. It will get finished one day. And like I said, I like to take this to soft play, but sometimes when my kids are in soft play, I don't see them really and they run off, and sometimes they're coming back and forwards to me every 5 minutes. So the amount of stitching I can actually get done varies from 0, you know, to maybe half an hour if I'm lucky. Like even if we're there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'll never usually get more than 30 minutes stitching done. So I just throw this in the bag, and if it manages to get any love, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. My next project to share with you, my next whip, is a biggie. So it is my Snow Maiden, Mirabilia, and she's absolutely gorgeous. I love her so much. She got a lot of love in the earlier part of this year because it tied in nicely with the fancy lady theme that I had set myself as like my theme of the month for January. So she got quite a lot of January attention. And then I just didn't want to put her down, but I did have to move on to like achieving some of my other goals in February. So I did some work just down here. She's not had a terrible lot of work since you last saw her in January, but I have done a bit, and I've been concentrating on working mainly with the Karen water lilies on this section, just filling in those little hexagons. I don't think I have worked elsewhere on her. I think it is just limited to her skirt area. And we'll pop in a comparison of what she did look like last time, but she will look very similar, I think, other than that skirt section being a bit more filled in. And I will show you what she looks like when she's finished, because she's going to be an absolute beauty. So yes, Snow Maiden by Mirabilia, and I am stitching her on 32 count even weave in like ombre snow flurry variety, and that is from my own Stitch Bunny website. A beautiful fabric. It's blue, but like all different varying shades of subtle blue, and almost like into a purpley blue at some places. I think the camera doesn't fully pick up its beauty, but it is a lovely fabric. I really, really like it. I think it suits her perfectly. So that is my Snow Maiden progress. Last but not least, I have my Jurassic Park project, which is a little bit rolled up. Let's just see if we can we see the whole thing? Just about. I'm not gonna take it off the frame because I think we can just about see where I'm at. To stand up with this one because it's so cumbersome. So, this is Jurassic Park Part 1. The name of the designer is currently escaping me, but once I've put this down and I have my hands free, I will double check in my book and let you know. But this is a project that I am stitching for Hadley, for my son, and my self-imposed theme for February, just as a reminder, was Stitched with Love. So this was the project I worked on to fit with that theme. And for me, Stitched with Love meant anything that was intended as a gift. And this, of course, is intended as a gift for Hadley. If I put up a picture of where I was last time you saw it, I hope you can see that this has been quite a lot of stitching that I've put into this. You can really see this dinosaur. You can really see this dinosaur down here starting to emerge and take shape. That is the Spinosaurus in the water. I've done a lot of this half stitch down here that's going to be part of the water that he's swimming in. and I filled in like a lot of the sort of green just background area here. I've done a bit in the sky. I've gone all over with this, and yes, I've put quite a few hours into this. I'm very pleased with the progress. I do not have my pattern keeper to hand, but I'm pretty sure that I'm about 25% done on this. And then the reason I'm stitching it, this is being stitched on 14 count Ada, but the reason it's being stitched on such a large piece compared to the design size is that that is just part one of the Jurassic Park over there. And then there's another piece of equal size for part two, so I will be stitching them both together on this rather long piece of kind of pale lilac-y blue Ada 14 count. And I believe that I'm stitching these with either Royal Broidery or CXC, but we will just double check that in my book. And while I'm checking that, I will pop a picture on the screen of what that will look like when it's finished, with both part one and part two for you, so you can see how lovely it is. And yes, I'm doing it in CXC, and the designer is Petunova. Love her designs. She has loads of other non-dinosaur patterns that are equally lovely, and I have quite a few of her patterns in my stash. Moving on from the stitching, I do have a little bit of haul to share with you, not too much because I did do my birthday haul video not too long ago, but I have a little bit to show you. So first of all, I have received a little bit of a kind Stitchy gift from a brand. The brand is named A2V Brands. They are on Instagram. I will pop their Instagram name on the screen so you can have a little nosy at their profile. And they contacted me just saying that they sell quite a lot of like licensed character, cross stitch and other goods, and would I be interested in having something. They didn't tell me what it would be, but I said, oh yeah, that sounds nice. I had a look on their page, and quite a lot of the characters they do are characters I like. And they just sent me this little miniature Peter Rabbit cross stitch, which I think is very cute. I know there are a lot of Peter Rabbit fans out there. So this is a mini kit. It comes with 14 count Ada, embroidery threads and a needle, and of course the design chart and instructions. So yeah, that was the little cross stitch kit that they sent me. And then they also sent me this, which I was very surprised to receive because obviously I am a cross stitcher. My Instagram, where they contacted me, is purely cross stitch, and this is actually a colouring pad. So this is, sorry, Adam's in the room and he's just telling me it's too dark. Well, switch the light on then instead of talking to me. Thank you. Adam's put the lights on for me, so he's directing me today. We're in the same room. I never film my floss tubes with an audience. I'm getting told how to do my floss tube. No, it's not the best lighting, but we will manage. Anyway, as I was saying, they gave me this, and it's a lovely pad that has a bunch of, I think, cards. I think they are greetings cards, and I believe there's 12 designs, but 24 sheets. So I'm assuming that you get 2 of each design of 12 different designs. And these are greetings cards to colour in, either with your coloured pencils, your felt tips, or your watercolours. If you are a painter, I think it's beautiful. Like, it's a lovely little package. It feels very sturdy. The card feels substantial. It is absolutely lovely. But I am not a big colourer or painter, so I was a little bit surprised to receive this. I thought everything would be cross stitch, but yes, they do lovely things. So if you were into other crafts, specifically colouring in, drawing, painting, you may find some lovely licensed character art on their page that comes in this format to colour, that you might be interested in. And like I said, they do the little cross stitch kits as well. So definitely go and check them out, and a big thank you to A2V for sending me those little bits to share with you. Next, I have one kit to show you, and it is my very first Gecko Rouge kit. That is very exciting. Here it is. So this gorgeous design, I absolutely just fell in love with it. It is not currently listed on the Gecko Rouge website. I found this on eBay and I absolutely loved it, and I've been watching it for weeks, and it kept being relisted on bids and no one had bid on it, and it was relisted and relisted and relisted. And then around my birthday, like it was due, it had been relisted again, and it was my birthday, and it was a few days away from the auction finishing, and I like said to myself, if that does not like get any bids this time round, I'm gonna put a bid on it at the last minute and see if I get it for the start bid. And I did. So here she is. The design is called Awaken the Spirit. And I believe, from memory, I think this is the 18 count kit version. I've not opened it yet, but it does look, from the back where I can see the fabric and the threads, it does look like it is 18 count Ada. It's definitely not 14, and it is not the 25 count, and they are the only options listed. So I'm pretty sure this is an 18 count kit. Like I said, this design is not currently appearing on Gecko Rouge's website, so it may well be discontinued or at least not currently available, but I just love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And as we all know, I'm not really a massive full coverage stitcher, but that just really appealed to me, so I'm looking forward to starting that at some point. Another tiny bit of birthday purchase for myself, also eBay, is this cute little ballerina kit, and it is literally just a ballerina silhouette. You can see that there are several other designs in the same series, but I don't have any of the others. But I just thought Daisy would love this, like in her bedroom. She's into her ballet. She goes once a week to a ballet lesson and she really enjoys it. And I thought that she would love that, but I just thought that I might swap out the supplied even weave with like a really nice light pink and just stitch that silhouette background onto a light pink. I thought that would be lovely with a pink background. So that is that bit of haul. And lastly, I have 3 little kind of cover kit things that are also off eBay. So I got this giraffe bookmark, and that comes with everything needed to make the giraffe bookmark. I thought that was very cute. And that is from the World of Cross Stitching. I don't know what issue. Does it tell me on the back? It doesn't. It does have 2022 on the back as a date, so I would say that it's probably a fairly recent issue from last year. But yes, a very cute giraffe. And the same person that I bought that from also had for sale this little kit, this cover kit, for making like almost like a little multi-purpose pin cushion slash scissor keep. And I loved like this little tape measure ribbon that it comes with. And it comes with all of the stuff that you need to make it. I just thought that was super cute. And as you will know, if you are a regular viewer of my channel, I'm not big on finishing things. And part of that is because we are wanting to move house, which has been in the works for years, but I didn't want to have loads of things framed that are then more bulky to travel and could get broken in transit. So for like the last few years, like I've been reluctant really to frame many things for that reason. They will just be easier to transport if they're not framed. But then the other part of why I don't finish things is because I'm a bit intimidated by finishing in other ways. So if it's not going to be in a frame, then I'm never sure what exactly else to do with it. And I just thought that doing a few little kits like this and actually following them through to completion and fully finishing would actually give me a little bit of practice. So at some point I am going to try and put this one together. Like I'll do the cross stitching, which is just this simple bit here. It shouldn't take very long. And then I'm actually going to practice my finishing skills on doing that little kit. And this final little cover kit I got from, again, the same person. It's obviously just selling off a bunch of their cover kits, and I bought this one for exactly the same reason, to practice my finishing skills. So this is like a little strawberry hanger. It's got felt and all the materials in there. And this is from Cross Stitcher issue 383. They just call it a summer hanger kit. I'm not sure what I'm going to hang it on, but again, I just thought that would be really good practice for some finishing. So that is all my little bits of haul. I don't think I've got anything else to show you. Oh, I have some cute ribbon here. I'll show you that. I'm trying to encourage myself to finish things. Can you tell? So I stitched an Easter primitive design last year, but I haven't finished it. And I was also contemplating trying to finish that off into something. I'm not sure what yet, but I did buy this like wide carrot ribbon, which I thought was really fun and really nice. And I might try and, I don't know, make a pillow or something, or maybe a flat fold. I don't know, just something with my Easter primitive that I stitched last year. And this ribbon will somehow be involved, I hope, because I just thought that was a lovely ribbon. So that is all my haul bits to show you. The next thing that I have to show you is some of my handcrafted by Adam homemade Lowery accessories. I'm just debating in my head how I'm going to show them to you because my stand is just there, but I think I'm going to have to move the camera to give you a better view. So just bear with me for 1 minute. So guys, this is my Lowery stand. Do not mind Adam over there. Say hello, Adam. Adam has got the morning off today and he's playing some games. He's been watching me film my Flosstube, which is a bit weird. That's Baby Bear down there. Hello, Baby Bear. Hello. But this is my Lowery setup. Do not mind the children's clutter and toys. Oh, you're getting a little sneak peek here of my new start that you're not supposed to see until March. So we're not going to talk about that, but there it is. So this is my Lowery stand as I use it. So I've got my actual stand and then I've got my light accessory there, which is like a light bar. I've got my iPad. Oh, it's not an iPad actually, it's a Samsung. I don't know, I call all tablets iPads. So yeah, I've got my tablet there. So you'll see my tablet is on this holder here, which I believe is the same holder that Teresa Little Stitcher uses. I'm sure that I saw her use a holder like this at a retreat that we were both at, and I ended up going and purchasing the same one. It's brilliant. And then I've got my light. But you'll notice that I do not have standard Lowery accessories here to hold them. So I know that the Lowery do sell like a metal bar that you can buy, but in my opinion it looks quite ugly and I don't particularly like it. So I asked Adam if he could make me something nicer and he made me this. So I've got this lovely solid oak bar and it's got these lovely turny clip screw things on both sides that are really easy to use just to like tighten it onto the bar. So it's got one hole here that threads onto my Lowery with the clip here just to secure it and make sure that it's not going to flap up and down. And then I've got 2 additional holes that are in here. They go all the way through. And so in this hole, I have my light. So my light just slots into there. But if I had, because I do have another light that like clips on, so if I ever decide to use that light, I can just clip it onto the bar instead of having it in the hole. But yeah, this light just fits perfectly in the hole. Hello, Bear. And I can turn it, I can spin it round with like its full range of motion. And it's brilliant, yeah. So that one holds my light. It does have a second hole here if I wanted to stick anything else in there. And then my second bar, which I have mounted higher, is the same solid oak from Adam with the one hole drilled. And there's no more holes in this one. This is just a solid bar. So this is great for just clamping on anything that you want to clamp. And I have my my Samsung. Shouldn't say iPad, should I? Because I'm giving them like absolute free advertising and I'm not even an iPad fan. I love my Samsung. Need to try and endeavour to use its correct name. So here is my Galaxy Tab. And this is the Niwa stand and it is a microphone clamp. So a lot of people I see clamping this directly onto the Lowery metal. But I just find that I'm much happier with it on here. You know, the tablets are not cheap, they're quite expensive. I want it to be fully secure and it clamps really well onto this wood. It holds it really solidly, and I just think they look really nice. So yeah, thank you, Adam, for making those for me. Yes, he has not got around to making me my full-on frame yet, because there's other things that he needs to yes, he needs a lathe. He's telling me he needs a new lathe before he can do that for me. But yeah, that is my Stitchy setup with my Lowery, with my little custom accessories. I was considering maybe offering those on my website perhaps. So if anyone might be interested in any of these for their own Lowery, yeah, watch out for that. I may well put them up on there. Adam's going to me, they're oak. Yes, I know. They're solid oak. And they're really, really nice. So that is those. You can say bye, Bear. Bye, boy. So I think that is everything that I have to show you for today. The stitching that I've shown you amounted to about 75 or 76 hours of stitching for the entire month of February. So to be fair, that isn't just the stitching that you've just seen. That would have been everything in my earlier Feb video as well. But yes, for my monthly roundup for February, my total number of hours stitching was around 75 or 76 hours. In terms of the sales that I am currently participating in, I will just grab my notes. So I'm currently participating in Letters of the Month, and I got my Letters of the Month goals done in the earlier half of February. So you saw those in Flosstube 30. That was my December Blue Topaz Fairy, and my Winter Cometh piece. I hit my goals on both of those, so a big tick for Letters of the Month. My February theme overall was Stitched with Love. I've worked a lot on my Jurassic theme piece for Hadley, so that ticks that box. My Kazarina Dragon Sal is now finished, so that is that box ticked. And for now, that is not an active sal for me anymore because I haven't had a new start on another dragon. But when I do, I will pick up with that hashtag and start using it again. And in the meantime, for those of you that are still stitching as part of the sal, I am still following the hashtag on Instagram to see all of your progress. The Teresa Made Me Do It sal is a big cross for this month. I have not worked on that. Like I said, I don't have my frame yet. Adam is still working on getting me my frame sorted for that, and we've got so much else going on at the moment, it's just not a priority, so that's just shelved for now. My seasonal sal being hosted by Lynn, the Lancashire Stitcher. My Winter Cometh piece is the piece that I was stitching for that. So yeah, that was kind of both my Letters of the Month goal and my seasonal sal piece, so a big tick for that. The other two sals that are noticeably missing from my video today are the Steady Thread Blackwork sal, which I've not shown you because it's not had any more work. I have fallen a little bit behind on that. And the Modern Folk Embroidery Root Deep and Reach Skyward sal. I'm very behind on that. I did start that one late, so I was behind before I even started, but I have not given it any more attention since you last saw it. And people have obviously now finished. I've seen people who finished Jan and they finished Feb, so they've done quite a lot, and I'm nowhere even close to finishing the January part, but I'm just going to plow on with that as and when I can. So that is where I am. For the month upcoming, well, the month that we're already in, for March, my Letters of the Month were supposed to be from my Tala Deity of the Stars piece, but that is the piece that I cannot work on until Adam sorts me out a bigger frame. So I did message the ladies that run the Letters of the Month group online, and I asked them if I could swap my March goals with my June goals, and they said yes. So I've not actually changed the goals, I've just swapped the month that I'm doing them in. So I'm actually doing June's goals for March instead, and that is to work on these two projects. So my first one is to work on Ursula Michael's Rainbow Unicorn piece, so that will be a new start for me because I've not yet started it. I will pop a picture on the screen so you can see the design. So I want to stitch that for Daisy, and my goal is to do 3 hours on that. So at some point this month, the month of March, I need to start that. And I'm thinking of doing that on, I've got all my threads together. So the threads are ready. There's not actually that many colours in it, so it was easy to kit up for in that respect. And then I have just been over the last couple of days looking at fabric for it. I think I've decided I'm just going to do it on a white sparkle Ada in 14 count from my Stitch Bunny shop. Like, I sell a particular white sparkle fabric that's super sparkly and I love it. So I'm going to do it on that. I've got a big piece in my own stash. And then my letter number 2 is, so that was for you, for unicorn. Then my letter of the month, second letter, will be the letter P. And that will be working on Jurassic Park Part 1 that you've just seen. So just continuing working on my Jurassic Park. And my goal is 2,000 stitches for that one, because that is being done on Pattern Keeper, so I can track actual stitches. So yes, I'll be doing more work on my Jurassic Park, start a new unicorn, and then my 2023 theme for March is Under the Sea. So that means that at some point this month, I am going to be looking at doing some underwater designs, sea life, mermaids maybe, like something of that nature. I think Baby Bear just knocked the camera. Something of that nature is what I will be aiming to do in March. Like I said, I've said before, like with my themes, it's just kind of a fun thing that I'm doing for myself. There's no stitch goal or number of hours or anything like that. I just, within the month of March, want to pick up something that is under the sea themed. I almost made it to the end of the video without my battery being exhausted, but not quite. I'm not quite sure where it cut out, but yes, I have a under the water theme for March. So on top of all my other goals that I'm trying to fit in, I will be trying to stitch on at least one thing that is underwater themed. And off the top of my head, I will have to double check all my whips, but I don't think I have an underwater themed piece on the go. I'm pretty sure that I don't. And the new start that you got a sneaky preview of on my Lowery stand is beachy sort of themed, but that is more of a seaside theme, not underwater, because I do actually have a beside the seaside theme, but that is for June, I think. And to me, my new start is more of a seaside, beside the sea theme, not an underwater theme. So I do need to find something underwater themed, a sea creature or a mermaid or something to make a start on this month, and then that will fulfill my March theme. I will finish off with a tiny bit of life update. I don't have too much to share with you. I have new hair. I don't know if any of you guys noticed. There's about 8 inches of my hair that's missing, and I'm still getting used to it. I decided on my birthday that I was going to have a good amount chopped off it, and it was the evening of my birthday, like all the kids had gone to bed, and I asked Adam to cut my hair, which he did. Man of many talents. Yeah, he's a hairdresser. He used to be a hairdresser. He used to own a salon in Birmingham. A very nice salon. So although he doesn't hairdress for other people anymore, he does cut my hair and the kids' hair, friends. Yes, I didn't just let him hack at me with scissors. He is a professional hairdresser. So yes, I've had a good trim. I've had a lot off the length. I'm still getting used to it, but it is better for it. Like, it's strange to me, like my hair feels really short because I've not had this much cut off literally since I was probably 11 or 12 years old. So it feels very bizarre to me that it's all gone when usually it's like down to here. But it was much needed. It was getting straggly and yes, getting used to it. I do like it. Other life update is that we are now in March and Adam and I really do want to be up on the market with our house at some point in April or by the very end of April. We're trying really hard. Adam's eating biscuits, if you can hear the wrapper. We're trying really hard to make that happen, and that does mean that I am going to have a lot less time for stitching in the upcoming couple of months because we are doing crazy amounts of tidying, cleaning, decluttering. We've got 2 kids, we've got a lot of stuff. And you know, we've been in this house for 15 years. Like, well, I've been here for like 14 years. Adam has been here for a couple of years longer, so probably like maybe 15 or 16 years Adam has lived in this house. It's a big house and you amass a lot of stuff and you just kind of fill the space that you've got. And when we move, we do intend to be moving to a smaller house. So part of the reason that we need to declutter and get rid of stuff is because we don't want to drag it all with us. But also, you know, we want it to look as clear and nice as possible and not cluttered when people come to view. So yes, I'm going to have less time to stitch and less time to film. So you may not see quite as much of me on Flosstube as usual. Like, I have got into a nice routine of doing 2 videos a month, so they're spaced like bi-weekly. At the moment, I'm going to definitely do my end of month updates / beginning of month. So basically I will continue trying to film at least once a month. However, whether I do the mid-month updates will really depend purely on whether I can fit it in. And I do think for the next 8 weeks, I probably won't fit it in. So you may find that I reduce my videos to monthly for at least the next couple of months. And if I manage to squeeze another one in, it will be a bonus. But at this point, I would say assume that it may be a month until you see me again. Yes, we're having a really big push and we need to make this happen. We have actually found a house that we would love to move to, and it has been on the market for quite some time. It doesn't currently have any offers on it or any like particular interest that's been noted. So yes, we're really like everything crossed, fingers crossed that maybe we can make the timings work out and that we can actually make that happen. But we're not on the market yet, so we need to have a huge push and hopefully make that happen. So yes, if you're gonna miss me with me only doing 1 update a month, I have not actually previously mentioned, but I do have another YouTube channel. It is called Home with the Hickmans. It is a more recent channel than my Flosstube here, but I have started doing like more home and family and just general life content over on that channel. So if you miss my face, I will still be putting out some of my updates on there, but it's a very different kind of content and it is mainly focused around food at the moment. So I show like my shopping and food hauls on there because I love nosing at other people's groceries, and I thought it would be fun to join in and do my own. So yeah, it's primarily food hauls, what I've been buying in our shops, what stuff we're eating, and I'm also going to be doing some kind of Slimming World related content because I am embarking on attempting Slimming World. I've not signed up as a member yet, but I do have a couple of stone that I'd like to lose. I've been saying this for a while. I would like to lose it before we get into summer. You know, spring is nearly upon us. Summer is not going to be far behind. And yes, so I will be documenting and vlogging a little bit of that journey and posting that on my other channel. So yeah, that is Home with the Hickmans. So if you're interested, and even if you're not that interested, if you want to go over and give a couple of my videos likes or even subscribe, that would be amazing because it is a tiny channel at the moment. And yeah, I think I've only had it going for about 4 weeks. So it's very new and any support would be appreciated. I will definitely see you at the end of March with my stitching. If I can possibly fit in another update middle of the month, which will only be about a week from now, I will really try my best, but it's probably more likely that I will catch up with you at the end of the month. Love to you all, get lots of stitchy time done, and I will see you all fairly soon. Take care, bye.